Hey guys, so today we're gonna continue Nea and we're gonna finish hopefully rendering the most part. And what I see here is that on the floor here, what I have is some sheets of paper that should have been light in color and I didn't notice them. So you're jumping straight into it. So I'm gonna make them lighter, less saturated, and change the tone to match the papers. Like so. Okay, I think this is gonna be okay. And here now what we need to do is I'm gonna select this layer and I'm going to select my scribbler brush and do the same thing as we did before. I'm going to go over towards the shadow of the foot. Like so. Okay, so now what I want to do is I wanted to actually work on the cup, like on the mug itself, and on the paper. So we still need to finish the binder and also the floor. So let's do the mug maybe. So here I'm going to add colors with watercolor and I'm going to go with watercolor here. Start adding the colors. I'm gonna make it blue. The mug. Actually, I don't like this brush. I'm gonna go with the usual, maybe edge-loaded brush. So here I'm gonna make the mug blue. Okay. And here I'm gonna go and add a bit more of that blue. Maybe not with this brush, maybe with the light base. So I'm gonna change a bit the hue, like so. Okay, and then I want to add some pinks here. Oh, my phone went away. Or maybe even not pinks, reds. Something warmer red. Or maybe just these dots. Okay, I'm gonna create another. First of all, this has to be in multiply mode. And this is gonna be in overlay and clipping mask or color burn, we'll see now. So if I make a smaller brush, I'll add some of those reds in. Excuse me. My voice is completely going crazy. Okay. And I'm going to add maybe something more purple to the mug itself. Let's see if we do it in color burn. It's a bit too much. Let's do it in overlay. Can add some more those teal colors some places. Okay, and here I'm gonna add another multiply layer. So I really like how this is getting the colors now already. And I'm also doing the scissors here. And I'm gonna create another multiply layer over here and go even cooler and darker to indicate that there is like the inside part of the mug. Like so. Maybe these dots, I don't want them red, maybe I want them yellow. What if I do them like orange yellow? I think this is nice, and maybe we can make red everything that is around it. Okay. Oh, my dog going crazy here with the paws. She just woke up. Okay, so in overlay, I'm gonna add a bit more red here. So let's see. Or was it better white? I think it was better white. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna duplicate this layer. I'm going to merge everything here. Actually, let's finish up with the color of the, yeah, I think I'm gonna do the scissors red. Like so. I'm gonna do one pencil, maybe purple. Let's add some of that iron bit here like so, and we choose the eraser here, maybe something brighter. And the other pencil could be, no, maybe green. Okay, the pencil is green. Here we go into deeper greens as well. And we go into the wood color here, like so. And then let's do the crayons. So the crayons, maybe a bright pink crayon here. It's gonna look good. And maybe a teal crayon. Something bright over here. Okay. So now on multiply, I'm going to go in the teal crayon. I'm going to go into my texture brushes. Multiply, I'm gonna go into like some darker greens here to give it some shadow and vary that color. Okay, here I'm gonna go a bit into purple. Okay, here into greens, maybe some blues also. Not too muddy. Okay, and maybe some orange scissors are okay. Okay, and then on overlay, I'm gonna make it just a bit brighter. In places, okay. So now what I want to do is I'm going to merge the layers together. And, oh, we forgot. Wait, before we merge the layers together, we forgot this guy. So usually they're kind of brownish, grayish. Maybe this is a metallic one. like so. And then we can go into multiply, maybe something bluer. Then we can go into the overlay and add some lighter colors in places. Like so. Okay, now we can do this, do it in multiply, so still keeps the watercolor texture. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do hue variation. Okay, here. I'm gonna feather it out just slightly. And hue, brightness, and saturation. Gonna give it a go and see which way. Let's move it towards the blues. Maybe a bit darker. Here then I want to do this part. Remove these. Wait, I'm gonna remove also the scissors. And add this little part here. And we're gonna go a bit darker, brighter, and maybe cooler. Okay, so here, for example, we can select an area in some places, make it lighter. Gonna feather it a bit, make it lighter. Like so. And then those wrappers on the wrappers on the pencils, like on the crayons. I want to make them maybe, no, just maybe this part here and this part here. We're gonna make it less saturated and way brighter, so to indicate that there's like a name of that color. Okay, and these parts over here, I want to make them brighter, darker, like so. And this part here and also here, as it's on the inside, it's going to go darker as well, like so. And yeah, now we have it. Now we can start adding the colors with the pencils. Okay, so I'm gonna create a new layer, and actually no, I'm not gonna create a new layer here. I'm gonna go into my nail layer here, and with the scribbler brush, there's my scribbler. With the scribbler brush, I'm going to start adding those areas of like the fixing the shape of the mug. Like so. Here we have it almost white. I want to make it almost white. Like so. Just covering up the lines and at the same time adding more texture as I go. Really like this blue. It's very pretty. Okay, and I'm not removing this line completely because I wanted to have the illusion that the mug is actually standing on the floor. here I'm gonna correct the shape. Always picking the local colors. Like so. And here I'm gonna create that occlusion shadow on the floor with the same color of the mug, and then the brown over the top, just slightly. Like so, so we plant it onto the surface of the floor. Okay. Here I'm gonna correct it with the color of the floor, the shape of the mug. Like so. It's quite colorful, I like how it's coming along. Bit of that yellow is nice, a little bit of that pink here as well. Okay, and here we're gonna correct the shape with the local color. Okay, correcting the shape of this one here. Like so. We already have that beautiful textured appearance. And here I'm gonna take this color. Let's see. From afar, it looks nice. It looks like, you know, those hand-painted mugs. And here I want to separate with this darker color the handle of the mug. Okay, and on the layer with the I want to remove this line, I don't need it. Okay. Now, let's go into the local colors and remove the outside colors. Here, fixing it all the way. So here we have those sheets of paper under there. Okay, here we have the floor color that we can also use to correct the shape, just to get rid of those lines. Here I'm gonna use the floor color. Okay, and let's take a look. Yeah, it's coming along nicely. So I'm gonna take this darker color just to separate it, and here we have lighter colors to keep the shape of this mug. Okay, here the top, what I want to do is I want to create that kind of top bit of the mug. Top part of the mug. I want to make it very light so that when we look at it, we can see directly. Here I'm gonna add a bit of that blue to take away the darkness. It's too dark otherwise. And here maybe some, like it's not so evident the change. I don't like this. Wait, let's take this away. Okay. Here I'm gonna add that lighter color on the rim as well. I want to kind of create the rim that is not very sharp, that is kind of slowly folding, like not very square, I don't know how to say it. Like it changes the shape, but it changes the shape like very softly, like so. Here I'm going to add the local colors and fix this line. Like so. Here I really like these greens and blues all together. Really like how it's coming along. Okay, and here we're gonna fix that line like so. So we have the mug. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a bit of highlight. Let's see. Okay, and a bit of highlight here as well. Here we're gonna remove that line on the background and fix the shape of the mug itself. It's gonna be like very softly going into the shadow here. Like so. Here on the scissors, I really like how the scissors came out this kind of interesting purples and oranges. It's really cool how the colors came out. Okay. Like so, here we will have that kind of connecting point where it's going to be dark. Okay. Okay, and here what we have is we need to add that white under the color of the paper under our toes. And ground them like so. Okay. So I'm basically fixing now the shapes on my scissors. Like so. Okay, from afar we can see that those are scissors. Like so. Okay, so here I'm gonna blend these two colors together. Okay, so we have scissors here in front. Then what I want to do is I want to create a bit of shadow here under the part where you grip the scissors. And create that blade of the scissors. Okay, now the pencils. We're gonna make the pencils fix the shape. So, and here it's kind of a greenish color. Let's leave a bit of that indication of those markings here. So it's that part where the eraser is. Okay, and here's the eraser. And then there's the floor to fix the car. I'll remove the unnecessary noise detail here. Okay, now we go to the green pencil. We're fixing the shape of the green pencil here. Like so. So I don't want to leave the lines. I'm gonna just use the colors to separate the pencils one from the other. Okay, and here I'm gonna take the green to create that tip, add a bit more, and here we're gonna use the brown of the wood, that is kind of pinkish brown here. Like so. And let's look from afar. I think that looks good. Okay, let's go on to, let's add a bit of sparkle to our scissors. A bit of highlight as it's metal. And also this plastic here could have a bit of highlight. Okay, so maybe a bit of light happening here as well, because on these parts, like this is a metallic part, there should be highlight there. Okay, now let's go into the crayons. I'm gonna add just a bit of that darkness under the crayon, and then go in with the brown to indicate that it's kind of sitting there on the floor. Okay. Here we're going to create that label. So it's going to be white. It's going to be green. Okay. Like so. Here we're gonna add this color, and I'm gonna take add a bit of that occlusion shadow here, and then lighter color here, and leave that occlusion shadow there. So this one should be a bit straighter. Okay, and here we can do the tip of the crayon. It's a bit of a colorful crayon. Okay, let's do the same thing for the pink and fix the shape. Here I'm going to add that purple first into the color of the floor to show that as purple is kind of the indication of the contact shadow. Okay. Like so. Here we have this color. Darken it up a bit here, and this is kind of the white of that label. Here we have the pinks and oranges. It's really pretty. Okay. Like so. Here we make it a bit darker and fix the shape. And here we remove the unnecessary bits, like so. Here we fix the shape of the crayon. Like so. Okay, so we have the crayons done and we have the jar done. Now we need to do this. So here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a darker color on this side. Go over it. Just so that we can create the highlight here. Planting it onto the floor. moving backwards with the color of the thing itself. Okay, so now here we have to go darker because the inside parts. Here we go darker because of the inside part, and we're gonna add just a little bit of that highlight to indicate that it's a little hole here. Then here I'm gonna make that blade lighter, like so. Add this highlight here on the edges. Like so. On the screw as well. And here on the edge, and just blend it in. Here I'm going to remove these lines. And here we're gonna kind of blend out this darker part and also the shadow around the screw as well. Okay, there we go. We have our mug, we have our crayons, we have the paper. Now we need to work with the paper. So here what I want to do is I want to remove this line because it's the floor line, we don't need it. I want to add this paper and I want to create kind of a shadow on the other paper, so to show that it's in the shadow underneath. And then bring back in the color of the paper itself and fix the shape. Like so. And here I'm gonna fix the shape with the color of the floor as well. Okay, and here we can indicate that like the occlusion shadow. It's okay, we can leave this line, just blend it out a bit. And over here the same way, I'm gonna take this same color, blend out here. To indicate that this paper is on top of the other one. And this one here is on top of the floor. And I'm gonna take this color to indicate that it's touching the floor over here. And then just blend it in with the color of the floor itself. And here also I need to blend it in more. Same way here. We're kind of blending back the colors, we're blending them back in. Okay. And here I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go fix the paper here. And I'm gonna choose this color to add it here where the fingers, the toes, sorry, meet the paper, to ground them. The same goes here. Because I didn't pay attention that it was not the floor that she was having her foot on top of a stack of paper. Okay, here we need to fix the shape of our paper. here as well. And then I'm gonna choose the same color to, where is it? This one, to indicate that this sheet of paper is kind of underneath. And then blend back from the lighter areas of the paper into the shadow to create only that kind of occlusion shadow here. Okay. And here I'm gonna do like a little shadow, the same, to show that the sheet of paper is on the floor, to ground it. Okay. I like going away from the occlusion shadow and then going into the color of the floor itself and adding the floor back in, so to blend it in. Okay, now we have the little paw print here in the little paw on the, let's correct these shapes. So now we have the little footsie foot on the sheets of paper. Here I'm gonna correct those shapes of the floor. I'm gonna go all over it, so just to indicate that this is one whole piece of paper just crumpled up. Okay. I'm gonna go into maybe some oranges. Add a bit of orange here. I don't know, I don't like very much how the notebook now is looking, because I want it to be more, I don't know, it looks a bit dirty now. Now that we mixed some colors together, we'll see. But I think I'm gonna finish this one for now. And then that is it for today. I also wanted to let you know, guys, that I recorded a tutorial for Patreon. So if anyone is watching this and maybe you're interested in seeing more in detail, so I walk through without like just drawing stuff that is already done, maybe you will like it. Okay, here what I want to do is I want to take the brown color and indicate that this part is actually touching the floor. Does it look like that? Yep. And here maybe we go a bit lighter, and maybe we have something written here. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to finish up with these sheets of paper as well. get rid of this line here, like so. So I've never drawn pieces of crumpled up paper, so this is new for me. Okay, and here I'm gonna fix the, so I want them to be kind of like a bit jaggedy, not straight. Like so. Here there's gonna be a shadow because this one is behind the other one. Here there's gonna be a shadow because this part is also kind of behind. Maybe let's have another shadow here. Okay, and here we add that light. And move it away from the shadow so that it looks as if the piece of paper is really crumpled up. It's making a more interesting silhouette. Like so. Here maybe we can add some of that shadow as well. And going back in with the lighter color here. And here maybe we can add some of that shadow where the paper is actually touching the floor. Okay, this is I think what we're missing. Oh no, we have it here. Okay. We're gonna take this color and then just move back into the shadow. Like so. Here I'm gonna add some of those lights. And add some shadows as well. I just want to get rid of all the lines. I want it to be kind of crumpled up, but not defined. Here's going to be light. I'm going to move this also, add some of that shadow color here. And take the local color and add it into here. And then here I'll make it purple, and here we make it white. And here already it's fine because it's kind of far away from the central line, central focus, sorry. So we don't need to make it as detailed, but still those sheets of paper that are crumpled up, they make up an interesting addition to the story because she was trying to make the book perfect. She's a little perfectionist. Just perfect. I'm going to create a different silhouette here, like so. And I think we got it. I think we have here a bit, we're lacking a bit of that shadow a bit more. And that's it, and then we can continue with our whale binder. So this is going to be dark purple on the side, and everywhere where we have stuff coming out, like under the pages, here it's going to be purple, like darker purple, to indicate that here there's the 4. I'm going backwards into this dark color so that we can create that occlusion shadow between the areas that are the... Okay, now that it's purple, it looks nicer, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna add this to the binder here. I'm gonna add some browns, darker browns. No, let's take this dark, no, the dark blue to create the occlusion shadow. Like so, and the same goes for here. And we're going to take the same color of the floor and move towards the occlusion shadow and loosen up the pressure as close as we, like the closer we get to it. And create that dark area underneath. Okay, and let's add just that purple to the binder. Okay, and the rest is sheets of paper. Okay, and I want to create that edge of the sheets of paper. So here, for example, I said I wouldn't do the binder, but here I am doing the binder. So everywhere where we have the edge of the paper, I'm gonna make it lighter, like so that it separates from the other papers. Okay, and here as well. Like this, we show that there are multiple sheets of paper. Be even whiter. Okay, just separate the sheets of paper like so. Okay, this already looks like a binder. Okay, and here with the color of the floor, I'm going to fix the shape. And the same goes here. I'm gonna fix the shape of the pages. Okay, and I'm gonna make these rings dark purple and with the hint of purple. Like so. Just thinking of making them rainbow, but they're gonna just get too much attention otherwise. Okay, and here we're gonna add that puncture hole. And then we're adding some lighter color to it to make it seem as if it's like a puncture hole edge. Okay. Maybe they're a bit metallic, these things. There we go. Okay, so for now, I think for today we're done. Maybe let's take a bit of this color and add it into this sheet of paper and add a bit of white on top of everything here as well. Okay, I really like the mug, how it came out. It's really kind of cool. Okay, so now what we're left with is finishing the binder, the floor, and the jellyfish. And actually with the floor, let's see one thing. I want to try one thing. So here, I want to go darker. Like so. So when they have those floorboards kind of raising upwards, these should be lighter and here should be darker. Like so, and let's fix the let's see how it looks. Yeah, it looks nice. Let's just tone it down a bit. Okay, yeah, then we're gonna do the floor, just a bit around here, and let's see, I can't stop, how to stop. Muchas gracias, Wingslos. Muchísimas gracias por el comentario. So I just had a comment that was very nice in Spanish and nice. Makes you feel good. Okay, and here darker. Okay, let's see. That's kind of the effect I was going for. And I'm making here brighter areas. Like so. Okay, yeah, we have the floor. So yeah, tomorrow we will continue with the floor. Okay, and with the rest of the stuff. And for today, that is it. And I hope you guys, whoever watches it, enjoy it. And soon I will be posting the finished result. I hope you liked it. Thanks, guys. Bye.